looking so sexy and sassy with our can dry and heck yeah.
You know you are. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me how amazing that song is from that show. Oh, this is so much. Hi guys, I'm Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew, and you're hanging out with us watching Schmoebates. It is our Schmoedown themed debate show here with Call to Action, and I'm here with ever lovely, the completely unbeatable this season. It is this an incredibly sassy Stacy Howard.
Woo, 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 woo. What up? Hello. Thank you for having me. This is exciting, an exciting day. And this, believe it or not, is even more exciting. Even more exciting.
Absolutely. Well, I know this is definitely, if you guys haven't been turning on the TV or turning on your phone, you know, there's a lot going on, obviously. I don't know. Crazy stuff.
What's going on?
Crazy. You know, but you know, we thought, you know, so much good stuff, you know, is going on in the world in this day in particular. So we got to put a little extra fight in tonight's episode. So I invited two champions, current belt holders, one being a current team champion with Brendan Meyer, obviously being part of Shazam, and going up against the current IG champion, Chandru Dhandapani. Oh, snap. Now, Stacy, this is your first time being on Schmoebates, obviously. So not only thank you so much for coming on, but how do you feel about debating? How do you feel about that whole interaction process?
Listen, you know what? I have a lot of sympathy for debating is hard. I've been on movie fights, a lot of it on TV fights, and like it gets intense. I was sweating, I was schwitzing a lot. You know, you feel the pressure get to you. So any kind of debate type style situation that people put themselves into and then try and get to the end, I always have mad respect to that. So you know what? Cheers to them and to America today.
America.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Wasn't sure if we could curse. Yeah. So, can we curse? Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
You know, it's like you're more than welcome to curse away. You know, if we have alcohol on screen, I mean, is there any other way? You know,
no,
that's absolutely. Now, like I said, you're so coming onto this, obviously you're judging. Do you like you said, you know, debating itself is hard. Do you like judging debates?
I like to judge anything. I'm kind of a sassy, judgy person. So, you know, it could be judging an outfit. It could be judging a meal. It could be judging some form of Schmoedown debate type situation. So I'm always down to throw out my sassy opinion anytime that it's needed. And even when it's not asked for. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's honestly incredibly useful, you know, having that mindset when it comes to debating and judging, especially on Schmoebates, you know, tonight, because obviously not only is my co-host and one of the two judges tonight that's really going to help determine our winner, but you have been in Schmoedown for, I feel like, ages. You know, you've been around for, you know, multiple seasons now, and you've been playing pretty consistently, you know, throughout all seasons. So obviously, with that being said, you must have some serious Schmoedown opinions.
I do have a lot of Schmoedown opinions when it comes to the game. And of course, everyone personally, everybody's lovely and we're all great friends behind the scenes. But on camera, okay, I have my strong opinions about people's capabilities, about their entrances, you know, because I'm a big entrance person. I'm all about that. So yeah, I've got some strong words for some people in the Schmoedown. So, but you know what? Strong words have been said about me too. So you gotta, if you can't, you gotta dish it and you gotta take it, is what I like to say. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Strong words are going to be said not only with Stacy and our ghost judge is going to be popping up on screen, but by our competitors. Guys, let me just go ahead and tell you guys, you know, what Schmoebates is all about and what the format is, you know, for the show. So let's see if I can pull up the rules here real quickly. If you're not familiar with Schmoebates, thank you so much for coming on tonight. 3 questions will be debated, with the winner being determined by the guest host and our ghost judge. If there's a tie, the audience vote determines it with the tiebreaker vote. So definitely stay tuned for that. Jake Yakavetta is actually going to be in the chat providing those links. So definitely be on the lookout. The round format is there's going to be 60-second opening statements by each competitor, followed by 4 minutes of open debate. And last but not least, there's going to be 60 seconds of closing statements as well. The final round is determined by the host flipping an action coin, and the winner must win at least 2 of the 3 questions in order to be declared the winner. But also a very new rule we added to Schmoebates recently is that each competitor has 30 seconds of uninterrupted time extension that can be used at any time. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and bring on our first competitor. Mm-hmm. You may know him as, like I said, he's a fantastic IG champion. To me, definitely one of the most also under-talked about, underappreciated IG competitors of all time. It is Mr. Chandru Dhandapani.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah.
It's like, how you doing, Chandru?
Pretty good. I'm such a happy day. So I'm like really happy just about things. It's raining in LA. It's lovely weather too.
I know. Oh, double rainbow also today. Double rainbow in the city. Pretty wild. Mm-hmm.
It's a good omen, you know? It's a good omen. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Chandru, are you you're going to be going against Brendan Meyer. So he's played a few more debates than you have. So are you nervous all that much?
Yeah, a little bit. Like he was in the tournament too, right? Like so. I am a little bit nervous, but I can talk my way out of a lot of things. So, so I'm like, as I'm cautiously optimistic.
I was like, every time you are issuing challenges when it comes to your IG, Schmoedown matches, you know what you're doing, you know what to say. And, let's face it, your challenges definitely going your way more times than not. And I think that, it's definitely going to help going into this debate. All right. We are going to be pulling up our next competitor. Oh my gosh. He is one of the best people ever, hands down. Also, not technically an American, but all around pretty awesome dude. It is Brendan Meyer.
Hello. Yes. Not technically American, but proud to be in America on today. Great day, as has been said. So I'm very happy to be on this show again. Chandru and I have talked. I remember after the awards, we were like talking for so long about all kinds of different Schmoedown stuff. And so we always talk Schmoedown when we're around. So this will be just an extension of that.
Exactly.
No kidding. It's kind of funny. Well, we wouldn't really see you guys both in any kind of arena together, obviously, both being part of very separate divisions. You both are, IG versus team and singles. But as far as I know, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything about Chandru potentially going into teams or you going into Star Wars IG. So this might be one of the only.
Well, I only need 60 days
of you guys coming together.
Get into Star Wars.
I mean,
I only need 60 days to get into Star Wars, right? Isn't that so? I could do it. I could do it over the holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
That's all you take.
I never take teams off the table too, and there's a good chance like both of us defend our belts and go remain champions next season. So if there is another champion of champions match, we could be playing against each other. You never know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, we're like the similar generation of people, like both in like real life age as well as in Schmoedown too. We sort of like came in around the same time. We had even similar records in our debut season, right? Like both of us were 3-2 in singles in IG. So and like we all like were both like we have a lot of similarities between like both of our careers too. So it's really nice. Like Brendan said, we talk Schmoedown a lot. This is the most we'll be disagreeing about Schmoedown, though.
Yeah, maybe probably.
I'm ready to see the claws come out. Like I'm ready to see, stuff go down.
Stacy, I totally agree. There's too much niceness on screen, and I am fed up.
Stop being nice. I'm
fed up. I'm not here for this. The smiles, we need to take that down, and we need to see you guys rip each other to shreds. Okay, we're going to be starting.
All right.
Let's make it bloody, guys. Okay, we're going to be starting with Chandru for our first question tonight. And then Brenda's going to be doing starting with the second question, and like I said, with the third and final question, we're using a lovely coin toss. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up our first question. But Stacy, will you please do the honors?
Yes, of course. Question number 1 tonight. What is the best team to never win a match? Never. So who's the best losers, in other words?
Oh man, you're hurting my heart under that description. Hurting my heart. All right, let's see how dangerous this is gonna be. Chandru, okay. You have 1 minute on the clock to let us know your pick. Starting now.
So I picked a team that even before they debuted, a lot of the fans were picking them to like run through the whole league and even be potential champions in this team. A team that when it was formed, it was going to be the bulldozer that just like smashes everyone in its way. And the team that was touted as the best team to be put together ever, and thanks to a draft. And I'm of course talking about Tom and Paul. They had the best. The manager Kate picking both Tom and Paul was touted as the best team to be drafted out of the original established teams. Everyone was saying they were going to be future champions, but they went against Deep 13, and they're 0-1 against them now. Deep 13 had to break the team's record at that point in order to win against them. So, and both of them outside of that team have had such great success both in teams and singles.
10 seconds.
So, outside of that team have had great success, have proved themselves, but. In time, Tom and Paul, they disappointed as a team.
And time! Wow! Okay. Paul and Tom from the Den. That's a pretty solid pick. Okay. All right. And Brendan, you also have 1 minute on the clock to let us know your pick. Starting now.
Yes, well, Tom and Paul is a good pick, but I didn't want to go with them because there's another team that fits a lot of the same criteria that Chandru was talking about, played great in their debut, lost to a team that tied the team's record, players that have had great careers, and that is the self-righteous brothers, Whitney Seibold, Mark Hoyk. They've played 2 different times in the first rounds of tournaments. Both times they scored over 30 points. And, nowadays, this year, it feels like you almost have to score over 30 points to win a lot of teams' matches, but that wasn't always the case in 2018 and 2019 when they played. So they were really putting up the types of scores that usually should win matches. And so they both times came up just short, once to a team that set the record and once to a team in Looney Bin that played an incredible match. Now, both times, not only did they lose, but they hit the 5. And I think that they've lost twice versus just once. But I'll explain it more in the general debate. But yes.
And time. Okay, we just had a little bit of a tease between these picks between the self-righteous brothers and Paul and Tam. It's Tom with a T-A-H-M nowadays.
Tom and Paul.
Yes. Okay. Now, Stacy, what do you think about these 2 teams? What do you think about these picks for these opening statements?
I mean, I love both picks. I think they both have their reasoning. I'm hearing some great numbers for the support of this argument from Brendan. I'm hearing some great reasoning and passion behind Chandru's pick. So I think both of them came out strong in this first debate round. I'm proud of you boys. Oh, look at me. I'm like being nice. It's just the wine.
What happened to the wine?
Let's cut that out, girl. Cut it out.
I know. Sorry. Fix it in post. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Stacy, your face was showing. Let's stop that.
I know. Sorry. Don't smile. Stop smiling, everybody. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I totally agree. These are really great picks. And, Chandru, by comparison, he made a few, Chandru, didn't make as many points, in the opening statements, obviously, with Brendan mentioning, having a huge overscoring over 30. So I'm kind of curious how he's going to kind of combat that. But also, Tom and Paul, we're one of the most talked about teams like this year. And so I'm kind of curious to see how Brendan's going to combat that because we didn't really know all that much about the Self-Righteous Brothers. I don't remember all that much hype personally, going into some of those matches from those teams. Okay. Well, we do have 4 minutes of open debate to see you guys really slap each other with words. Are you both ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. 4 minutes starting now.
Right.
So when we're talking if we're talking most knowledgeable team to never win a match, I agree Self-Righteous Brothers would be up there. But when we're talking fully best team, I don't think Whitney Seibold and Mark Edward Hoyk are like best Schmoedown players in the sense of like gameplay and strategy too. Yes, they know a lot about movies.
So to be fair,
but like
Tom and
when
Paul
he's not partnered with Whitney,
when they gave their team, Tom and Paul, where gave opponent's choice, they went Festival Darlings to Deep 13. I don't know if Whitney and Mark
outside of that one blunder, they've like shown to care a lot about the Schmoedown. Like Tom ended up going to the semifinals both in the teams tournament last season and the singles tournament this season. I've seen a lot more potential from Paul Preston too. Like he's 3-3 in singles now.
Well, I think that they're what they've done individually is amazing with Paul and Tom. And for me, why I feel like it must be the Self-Righteous Brothers when we ask who is the best team to never win a match is that even though based on their record, based on their stats, Tom and Paul should play brilliantly again. We know they're in the teams tournament. We know they're playing final exam. We should fully expect them to play brilliantly again, score over 30 points, but they haven't done it. Self-Righteous Brothers had 2 different opportunities, and both times, whether you want to say there's other things, they came together and they scored over 30 points both times. Also, Whitney Seibold is still in the top 10 most accurate teams players of all time. So maybe he hasn't had the best run in singles, but he's still up there when it comes to the teams division and the stats that he's put up.
Okay, you're talking about scoring more than 30 points. Like Tom and Paul also scored more than 30 points. I believe they scored 32
Only
points
one.
in their team's match. And that is without without even hitting their 5-pointer. So their accuracy was even better than Self-Righteous Brothers' accuracy over the 2 matches.
Did hit their 5-pointer in the match, but Self-Righteous Brothers did as well both times.
Wait, did Tom?
I don't think
Tom.
Paul,
I don't
2
think.
minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Either ways, but
I don't remember. I think so.
Okay,
I think Deep 13 won on the 5, if I remember. But
yes, okay, yeah, they hit the 5, and then Deep 13 also hit the 5.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I think so.
my bad.
Which is the same. It's the same
My
situation
bad.
with Self-Righteous Brothers. No. But it's the same thing with the Self-Righteous Brothers. It's amazing. A lot of teams lose matches or go on streaks because they missed the 5, so they don't make it.
Yeah.
Whereas what's amazing about these 2 teams is they both did it, but Self-Righteous Brothers twice.
One reason Self-Righteous Brothers, if we think if they're the best team to never win a match, after their first loss, they had almost a year to get their next match. They didn't even get another match because they didn't have the potential during the regular league season, where even teams with 0-1 get matches to play further on. They only got a chance in the next tournament. That is because they don't bring much to the team, much to the show in terms of character work. They don't bring much to the show in terms of like entrances. Tom and Paul have like way more character work in their interactions with. We're talking best team, not just the most accurate and best gameplay. We're talking when we're talking best team, we're talking everything.
I just think when you look at the way they ran through it, Mark Hoyt does amazing character work. I mean, we saw that in the recent Horror Free-for-All. I mean, it is an incredible thing to watch Mark Hoyt do his thing. But why I think they're a dangerous team is they've done well in categories that a lot of players and a lot of elite teams will be afraid of, like 70s. I mean, they go 11 for 12 in 70s when they played against the Looney Bin. There was a question about Taxi Driver. What's the fake name that Robert De Niro gives to the guard? I was like, I saw that 6 months ago and I don't even remember, and they're getting it without multiple. So I think the Self-Righteous Brothers have the potential to hang with any team in the league, especially if they get something that is their strength, which could also be something, they could be a tough matchup for other teams.
But it didn't reflect in their singles career either. Like Whitney, even though you're talking about accuracies 0-3, Mark Hoyt wasn't even selected to be in the singles tournament. He's the 5th best player in the league.
That wraps up our open debate.
Woo! Passionate.
Okay, a little more of the claws are coming out. Are you a little more excited about some of the, a little more of the intensity?
Feeling better, feeling good, feeling not so nice anymore. Thanks. That had to get the nice out of me. Gross.
The worst. No one likes that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, these were, I think, honestly, really, really fantastic arguments overall. Like what I said earlier, a little bit in the opening statements, I do feel like Brendan did walk away with a few points being made, slightly stronger arguments compared to Chandru. However, Chandru, I think, like I said, with Paul and Tom, has definitely more iconic competitors, especially more popular competitors as well. So that's something I'm kind of curious to see them, dive into. Stacy, what is something that you really need to hear from our competitors to really solidify your vote for this question?
I heard a lot about why somebody deserves this title because of how close they got to a win or because of their chemistry. I want to hear a little bit more about what you think about how these teams competed together as their chemistry going against other teams. So not just, they got super close to this win, or, this and that knowledge, but why did they work together? Why would they be the best team to never win a match? Not who got the closest.
Absolutely.
Why are they a good team?
Exactly. Chemistry is such a huge aspect to, all great successful teams. Let's face it, all the greatest, Schmoedown teams ever, have a pretty solid connection, for sure. Okay. So, our ghost judge is also wanting to learn a little bit more about the chemistry angle from Paul and Tom as well. Now, we are going to be, like I said, we're going to be starting, for this question, we'll be starting with Chandru. We're going to be starting for a closing statement as well. Chandru, are you ready to provide your closing statement?
It's 30 seconds, right?
Oh, for the closing statements, you get 1 minute for the closing statement. And you can get 30 seconds of additional time that you can use throughout all three debates. But you can save it, you can use it later. It depends on you.
Got it.
Totally up to you.
No, but the closing time is closing session is 1 minute.
Yes. Absolutely. And I'll let you know. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. All
right. Starting now.
These two players are like I said, the top picks for their respective faction, and top two picks for their respective faction. And we saw in the match they had amazing chemistry playing off of each other too, both against character. Where Paul even saying he was Tom was his vision because of his ayahuasca trip or whatever he meant. He said, and they were playing off of each other too with that sort of chemistry between the two, and we know the potential is there. That is why the manager picked Tom and Paul for the tournament. We know it's the best team because the manager picked a 0-1 team instead of a 2-1 team in the Pride. And despite being the only team going with a losing record into the tournament, people are touting them as potential tournament winners too. So they're definitely the best team to never have one.
And
so far.
Time. Oh, you're breaking down some new points. Thank you for addressing our question, especially from the ghost judge, but also putting out some new points out there. Okay, I see you. I see what you did there. Okay, Brendan, you also have 1 minute on the clock to really sell us on the Self-Righteous Brothers. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 1 minute starting now.
For me, it just again comes down to the point that I have been making, which is that we just have more proof of the Self-Righteous Brothers as a team that has done it multiple times. Tom and Paul, they had a lot of hype going into that match, and they still played really well, but they didn't win. But so much of the arguments about Tom and Paul are hypothetical, and it's hype, and it's, they were picked because everyone thinks they're going to do amazing in the tournament again, or they're going to play at this level, but we don't know. Self-Righteous Brothers played in 2 back-to-back tournaments, lost 2 matches in which they scored over 30 points, hit the 5, one in which they dominated round 2, one in which they got 15 points in round 1. So they proved they can score over a large variety of the rounds. And I just think that that's what matters. We've seen a lot of great teams. You could have said the movie guys, Paul Preston, Adam Witt, they were incredible in that match against us and pushed us right, and they had a chance to win. But they've only done, if they played again, maybe they would be even better. But we know about Self-Righteous Brothers, 2 matches in a row. They're only 2 matches, 30-plus points. That to me is it.
And time. Whew. Okay, that wraps up our first question of the evening. Now, guys, everyone over in the chat, please let us know your opinions and go vote and let us know in an audience vote who you think is the winner of the first question. And Stacy, the first question is over and done with. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm feeling good. I like to see blood drawn on the first round, so that's always a good time. I think both made some pretty strong arguments, but through coming from different sides. So I think they both took a different approach to their debate on this first round, which I like. Nobody wants the same thing. Everybody wants something different,
I have to say, I remember when seeing both of these teams, and I have so much hype for them. I hope to see them continue to be amazing. Self-Righteous Brothers, oh my gosh, some of my favorite matches of last season, but also Paul and Tom, some of my favorite competitors in Schmoedown, together on a team. So my heart is already there. I'm already putting money on them for the team's tournament, that's for sure, to go up against you in the future, Brendan. So give you a heads up. All right. So while we are waiting for our judges to really determine, kind of let us know, I'm going to go over to the chat for a few quick super chats. We had from Miss Elias. We had Yakul people. Thank you so much. Always such an amazing person. Like, yeah, thank you so much, girl. Over in Australia. And Ace Galagos, one of the competitors over at not Corruption, the Dungeon. He's awesome. Love the dude. Yo, working tonight. 1 year ago, we were in studio chatting during matches in the audience. Now you're a champ. Chandru, I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Again, the niceness is just like oozing through this entire, right?
Oh, it's disgusting.
No,
Hey,
those 4 minutes were the most aggressive I've seen. Brendan. I don't know what you're talking about. The niceness.
Andres, stop it. It's all this niceness is ridiculous. Go away. Go back to work. Go back to
also,
work.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Brendan, I'm a big fan. Love what you're doing. Congratulations, dude. Gosh, it's nauseating. All the niceness.
I hope we see you in the ring again soon, man. You played great in that opening match. As I know, Adam Collins, tough draw for the first time. So hopefully we see you in there again, man. Because that's tough to have to play him first up. That is rough.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, like, oh man, little did we know. Like, sweet baby Jesus. Okay, and now we are going to be going into our second question, and here in just a hot second, before we read it, I am just going to let you know the winner of our first question was Brendan Meyer with the Self-Righteous Brothers.
Snaps.
Yes. All right.
Snaps indeed. Both Stacy Howard as well as our ghost judge agreed that you were the winner tonight. So congratulations on the first one. So, that doesn't guarantee anything, obviously. But
you can lose the lead. You can lose the lead anytime.
It's happened many times before. Okay.
Gotta be cautious.
You never know on Schmoebates. You really never know what's going to happen. All right, Stacy, could you please read our second question of the evening?
I would be greatly honored to do so. Question number 2 for the night is, what is the best team intro of all time? If you don't pick me, you lose.
Oh my gosh, there's so many to choose from. Yeah, so no pressure, y'all. No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay?
Fine.
There's definitely an intro queen on screen with y'all, so better impress here today. All right, we're going to be starting with Brendan for your opening statement to let us know your pick. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you have 1 minute on the clock, starting now.
Well, when I was thinking about best teams intro, obviously the thing that is great about people like Stacy, like William Viviani, and like the team that I chose, the Shire Wolves, is that they do play up the costumes. They do create an experience. They don't just come out to music. They're always trying different things. And for me, the Shire Wolves, one of the biggest moments, if we're talking about best post-match interview or best moment, it's always Clark Wolf, we are the league. And that was such a huge moment when they won the belts. And then their very next match at Spectacular, when they placed Who's the Boss, they were able to include all of the great women in the Schmoedown of that time and really incorporate that moment into living reality for that entrance at Spectacular. And it was amazing to see all these different women, like Stacy, so still counts, still pick Stacy. She was a part of this entrance. And it was amazing to see all those amazing women come out. It was amazing to see the Shire Wolves incorporate. They were dressed as Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn. It was really cool to see. And they were able to really hype up that match. I think that match is remembered as one of the best of all time for teams matches because both teams played so well, but also there was such an iconic, affecting, exciting entrance that opened it up, followed then backed up by amazing play.
And time. Ooh, right on the money. Okay. Shire Wolves versus Who's the Boss. Great pick. And over to Chandru, you also got to let us know your pick for best team intro of all time. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, starting now.
I'm choosing one of the classics. In season 4, there were 2 teams which had a losing record. Tough Beats and 6 Degrees. Tough Beats comes in with this entrance, amazing musical. They have like cameos from Mark Riley and Josh McCouga and so on, and just puts on this amazing show. And people were saying, okay, nobody can top this entrance. But in that same match, 6 Degrees tops that entrance with Jay Washington coming out as Bane first. And then Brian Chandler as Catwoman is already on the table because Catwoman is sneaky like that. And Poison Ivy gets picked up by 4 men of the league and walked over, and this Brienne is the sneaky Catwoman, and Stacy is a seductive Poison Ivy. Was the best team's entrance of all time, and it was the best team's entrance of 6 Degrees too. They were robbed of the best team entrance of the year because they split the votes between that and American Psycho. And I would have said this even if Stacy was not here.
And time. Ooh, you already got some love from some Stacy, obviously, with that pick. But Stacy, you're not going to let your personal biases get involved. Is that right?
No, that's not correct. Obviously, I will. I think that was an amazing argument, Chandru, and I'm glad that you are now an American patriot. So God bless America, everybody. Let's all sing a hymn together. No, that was great. Very, very passionate arguments from both sides. Brendan, I like that you included me as a small part of yours. Chandru, obviously you won this round. It's fine. You can do whatever chat you want. But we know what's up. So.
Yeah, definitely no pressure. Brendan might have a little bit of extra work for this one, obviously, but you can't argue that both of these are incredibly iconic intros. When you see promos, regarding the history of Schmoedown or just a lot of older, Schmoedown matches, till this day, the 6 Degrees versus Tough Beats intro is still consistently used. Stacy coming out, with a whole bunch of her, slaves hanging around and Catwoman just like happen out, but also oh my gosh, what an amazing feeling, with seeing the Shire Wolves coming out the way they did during that intro. I remember I teared up, but who didn't? Let's be honest. So, these are both really fantastic picks. Okay, Stacy, is there any particular topic that you're excited to see discussed in the open debate?
I'm excited to see, a lot of people will talk about entrances and how iconic they were as an audience member. But if you guys can maybe just talk about like the actual competitors themselves and maybe what it would have taken to put that entrance together and execute it and why that makes it a good entrance, not necessarily just the entertainment value that we've talked about so far. That's something I would like to be discussed and debated.
Yeah, there's a lot of time, money, and overall effort that goes into these intros. It's not all about looking cute in front of the camera, which is so easy for Stacy and the Shire Wolves and Brienne obviously to do. But there's a lot of effort that goes on behind the scenes that definitely doesn't get recognized the way it should. But you guys have 4 minutes to really sell us on both of these teams, starting now.
All right.
So an entrance is not just about the showmanship of it all, right? It also has to tell a story. Like, of course, you're saying yours had a story about the women of the league, and it's a more of a larger statement than the team itself. It took away from the team a little bit, in my opinion. But Stacy and Brienne, who were the darlings of the league until that point, were going against homegrown people in Tough Beats. So that match I would say was sort of the heel turn for 6 Degrees, and they embraced it and appreciated it so much that they showed up as women villains of the league. And I would say 6 Degrees.
I think that the Shire Wolves, it enhanced there. I'm just saying, I think it enhanced it. I can't let you go. We got to debate. I'm giving you an extra 45 seconds there, man. No, the way I feel is that I think that it did enhance that because they did win the belts. They had this great moment. They had the moment that some people say is a defining moment. We are the league. And then talk about logistics, like Stacy was saying. They brought all the different women of the league. Some who I remember just showed up just for that entrance, just to be a part of that. They didn't have matches spectacular, but they were there because it was important to be a part of that entrance. And
it was there.
It wasn't just about the Shire Wolves, but I think it enhanced them because that was so much of what they did. And like I said, they went hand in hand. They had these amazing entrances, and then they had incredible play. And that was really where it all came together. And I think people remember that entrance for the Shire Wolves and for the coordination and for what they represented. And not only they made it all about themselves, that they made it all about the women of the league in that moment too. I don't think that took away from them.
I would also say 6 Degrees walked so Shirewolves could run, like both in terms of entrances and being the first women team and
Joe
being
Biden?
the first women heels of the league.
The victory speech that we've all been waiting to see? Wow, that was really incredible.
And again, like at that point, Shirewolves throughout the entire league, Shirewolves were the babyface team. We're supposed to be the babyface team. Of course, I was in happy tears when I watched all these women come in during the entrances, and it was their coordination and their preparation too, not just Rachel and Clark's preparation, but the 6 Degrees entrance was. I appreciate like them getting the chair and like the costumes and so on, and even masks. A little Easter egg: the 4 guys carrying Stacy are Team Action and the Real Rejects, by the way. So getting them to wear masks so we don't know. I didn't know that for 6 months who were carrying them too. So
I mean, I think the 6 Degrees
there's a little bit of sneaky coordination there as well.
I think the 6 Degrees entrance is fantastic, and I think that, like you said, they were some of the first people to do stuff like that, and I totally agree with that. I just feel like with the best team intro of all time, there's something about that Shirewolves entrance that really sticks in. Maybe it's the moment, maybe it's the fact that it is associated with a match that people are still talking about. With 6 Degrees, an amazing entrance, and like you said, they even had another entrance that was great. That year, it's like I just feel like the Shirewolves one stands out the most for me among all of them. To
me, I would say Shirewolves' best entrance was against Team Action when they walked up in Fight Club, or even their Thor entrance was better than this one, because the cameos stole the show in the case of the Shirewolves who run the world. Entrance, like Stacy and Brienne, Janine, Mara and Rachel Silvestrini, Haley Fouch, Markia McCarty, and
just keep saying them. Keep making them. Keep saying all the amazing people that
they all stole the show. Yes. And also, I was happy for all of these women. But when they were surrounding them, it also felt a little like they were bullying Ben Bateman and Mark Riley a little bit. At that point, I wanted them to, for a fraction of a second, I wanted them to win, which is not what you want to do as a babyface team. You want us to support you, like which I of course did as soon as I had that fraction of moment of doubt. But again, Shirewolves' best moment is we are the league. We win the. We are the league more so than that entrance, I would say.
Yeah. Well, that entrance is the manifestation of that moment. It was extending from that moment. That's what I think.
They had better.
And time. That wraps up our open debate. I want to apologize ahead of time for my computer completely shutting down for a split second. But my timer, I warn you, it was still going on strong. But I'm not the one judging today. Stacy, how did they do when I was away?
Well, I was proud of Chandru for proving that he's right in this debate. And to defend myself a little bit from Brendan's remark that I had 4 men carrying me, they were glad to do it. I've never had a complaint from a man, I'll have you know. So they were happy to be orbiting my atmosphere. And it was a good day for them, just like it is a good day for any man that, comes in contact with me. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Girl, that is a whole conversation in and of itself. And I totally agree 1,000,000%, especially when we have one in the conversation as well. Now, I do think something to consider is that not only are these both really iconic introductions, but these are two very, very different moments, in time for Schmoedown and how impactful, both these introductions were for these specific teams. Obviously, with the Shirewolves, going up against Hughes the Boss has, We Are the League, definitely one of the most iconic moments overall in Schmoedown, but the introduction of, this really badass female heel team coming in strong with some of the most iconic movie, characters of all time. So, but also, it did also, it was like a whole thing, a lot of costumes, a whole bunch of people were involved. And, it was also one of the first really big introductions where it kind of put it on the next level, where everyone's like, we got to start doing that. That was pretty amazing, So a lot of other competitors and teams, really kind of took that initiative and really kind of went for it. So very influential in both ends.
Yeah, thank you. And I need to give a shout out to Brienne because she was the one that really brought us into the Schmoedown as a team, suggested and asked me to come along with her and said, hey, I think it'd be fun if we like dressed up in costumes. And I think the first one we did was Grease. I was like, okay, I have a leather jacket. Sure. Like that's all we did really. But then it grew from that to, I was asking Christian, how much weight can the ceiling hold? You know, like I want to do like an entrance that's like an epic descent from the heavens kind of thing. So, hey, Miss Movies, what's up, girl? I see you in the chat.
Oh my God! I thought Brienne was the guest judge, and I would just like win both votes.
That'd be great.
Damn it!
Wow, we're trying to game the system here.
Hey,
the odds are higher that somebody from my entrance is the guest judge too, right? So,
okay, yeah, you're
maximize my odds
now.
Oh, and I was wrong. I guess The Matrix was our first one.
Yeah,
so I mean, you know, shows that I have a great memory. So sorry about that. Sorry.
I do think that we can't argue though, as far as like 6 degrees go, I think personally it's definitely it is the most iconic of 6 degrees, but that's a whole conversation in and of itself. Our ghost judge is they really want to ask specifically the significance and the message behind your pick. So that's something our ghost judge really wants to hear from you in the closing statement, Brendan, but also Chandru, our ghost judge is requesting you to talk about not only like why we obviously both Stacy and I love that intro, but what makes it extra special. We need that little extra juice, obviously. And thank you for our ghost judge. That's going to be revealed later in this match for those questions. Okay. Oh, right. And I also feel a lot of extra pressure because Miss Movies is on the chat because I love her so much. Okay. So much. She's amazing. All right. So we're going to be starting with Brendan for our closing statements. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. You have 1 minute starting now.
I think just what was really cool is that going back, we talked about it at that big moment where they said we are the league after they won the belts. And I think why I love the Shire Wolves team entrance so much is that they didn't just stop there. You know, when they came back, at Spectacular, however many months later it was, they built on that moment that they had in the post-match interview when they won for this first defense. And I just think that people always say that was one of their defining moments. And so then I think this entrance is one of their defining entrances. And so I just felt like it was such an incredible thing. And there have been so many other great entrances the Shire Wolves have done, but I feel like that's the one that people remember. And I think it's because it was tied to this. So even though, yes, there were all these other amazing women involved, I still do think about it as something tied to the Shire Wolves legacy. And maybe that does have to do with then they played one of their most amazing matches against Who's the Boss too. But I just feel like that entrance also supported the match that was about to be played.
10 seconds.
In terms of narrative and excitement. And that's why I think it is the best team intro of all time.
And time. Ooh, right on time indeed. Okay, pitching a little bit of extra legacy love for the Shire Wolves. Whew. Man, that's a pretty solid debate. Okay, and over to Chandru. We got to hear it, man. You really got to sell us on, obviously more than we already do love 6 degrees versus that Tough Beats intro. You got to tell us why it's so special, and in each and every 1,000,001 ways. You have 60 seconds. Are you ready?
Yep.
Starting now.
What are some of the Schmoedown's favorite moments of all? A well-executed heel turn. We've seen heel turns executed in cutscenes. We've seen heel turns in post-match interviews, but we've never seen heel turn in an entrance before or after. That was the only one where the entrance itself was a heel turn. That is what makes that entrance so special. And that was them embracing Jay Washington as this their strongman manager as well. So that's the other significant portion of it. Them coming together as this faction faction called Misfits before there was a team Misfits now. And
30 seconds.
And when you think of six degrees entrance, that is the first thing that comes to your mind. But when someone says Shire Wolves entrance, there's like multiple ones. They even won the award for the Thor entrance and not the Who Runs the World entrance. So a large portion of the audience that voted for the awards also agree like that they had more significant ones, and Thor was more special because that is when they won the belt.
And time.
Yeah.
Wow.
He put out some fire in that closing statement.
He really did. He truly did. I just want to express my disappointment, though, that neither of them picked my Jurassic Park entrance. Do you know how expensive those stupid blow-up dinosaurs were? $100 a pop. They took up so much room in my closet for like a year and a half. The only reason I got rid of them was because someone bought them in the middle of a pandemic because they have like, you know, a built-in mask ventilation system thing going on. So yeah, pretty peeved that no one talked about that.
I almost picked that. Fun fact, that was the first live match I saw. I was in the audience for that match.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I went to a live event too, actually, was that one. Oh, and I just want to say, because I clicked over to the comments and I saw Brienne was saying, I do know the difference between the two, because when I was saying We Are the League, I know that's when they won the belts and did the Thor thing. I just really liked, I was saying like months later when they played Who's the Boss, I felt like they built on that moment by then incorporating it into the secondary entrance, like the entrance in the next match. So I do know, I wasn't clear about that, but I definitely don't want people to think that because I was trying to make the distinction between the two moments.
It was really solid overall. Okay. Well, this is fine. Okay. I just want to highlight a super chat recently from Mr. Ben Rayner. My dude, he's so great. We love Ben over here. Hi, guys. To all great competitors here are awesome. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for giving us a great show. Make the day even more awesome. I want to know from you guys a little bit, what was a spectacular moment you guys had today? Stacy, what was like one of your favorite moments today?
Oh man, well, I guess I found out the results of the election while I was eating some really great French toast. So that was nice. That was a really good moment. Who doesn't like, you know, some good news during a lovely brunch meal? So I would say that's my good moment.
Any toppings on said French toast?
No. You do minimum powdered sugar, a little bit of syrup, and then you have apple juice and a coffee. So you've got like tart, sweet, coffee, savory. You've got like all the flavors, lots of butter on there as well. So you just mix it all up and it's good. Yeah.
It's nummy in my tummy. And I think I saw Brendan perk up a little bit with the mention of maple syrup. So, you know, see what I did there? Oh,
I did.
And okay, Brendan, obviously, you know, you're in a very different situation than us, obviously. However, I mean, what was like a pretty amazing moment that you had today, potentially?
I mean, very similar to Stacy, you know, just waking up, picking up my phone, finally seeing Pennsylvania came through. That was a great moment, but I just took it kind of easy today. So probably my favorite moment was just enjoying this San Pellegrino drink, knowing I was about to come on Schmoebates. We would see you guys.
What flavor of Pellegrino is that? Is that like citrus? Is that lemon? What is that?
A sparkling grapefruit beverage.
Oh,
it's got 16% grapefruit juice, not one of these juice drinks where you flip it over and it goes contains no juice. You know, this is always not a great sign. Not a great sign.
Fancy. Look at you, fancy. Okay,
yes.
I see you.
Aren't you healthy over there?
That sounds like something that would be.
I don't know if it's healthy, but it contains. It's still only 16% juice.
It's meant to trick you. It's meant to feel better. It's meant to feel better than drinking soda. That's for dang sure. And Chandru, what about you, my dude? What was one of your favorite, most amazing moments that you might have had today?
So I woke up at like 8 in the morning and put some ribs in the oven for slow cooking because I knew there was going to be some good news today. And I was going to celebrate with ribs and like maybe some champagne, which we're down one bottle now. And there's another bottle waiting when we watch SNL later today. And so, yeah, like just watching the acceptance speeches with champagne and ribs was amazing. Like, I know it's like one thing is classy. One thing is like the most brutal thing you can eat as a person, but it's like that is America.
That is America indeed. And you know what else is super American? Prepping your ribs like 10-12 hours ahead of time. Yeah. That is American. Very American.
Very serious about it. Very serious.
I put the dry rub on it last night and let it marinate overnight, and like I woke up at 8 in the morning and put it in the oven to this perfection.
Did you use pepper in it?
Isn't this a great metaphor for America? You know, I had to let ourselves stew in the oven for about 4 years with just waiting,
Marinating.
and then finally, marinating, and then finally it emerges for a nice, delicious meal that we're finally going to be able to enjoy. So
Still showed up 5 days late, but it was perfection.
Yeah, true.
You know what? Delayed satisfaction. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's getting us hyped up for the weekend. That's what it is. Absolutely. I love it on a Friday. All right. We are going to be going into our final question today. And, we're going to make it a little extra weird, a little extra fun. And when I put together this question, I was like, I have 2 champions that are going to be competing in Spectacular. What? How did this happen? So I wanted to make this one a little extra special. So, Stacy, could you please read our third and final question of the evening?
I can. So, question number 3 is going to be, pitch an epic virtual intro that could be used at the Spectacular. It's really fun.
Now, I have to be honest. When I was chatting with you, Stacy, earlier today, I was like, I like seeing you and Great Drake being you two, Stacy, on the same screen. I was like, we can get some amazing intros in a virtual setting. So I want to see that being pitched today. And both of you are obviously competing, so I'm kind of curious to see that come out. We are going to be using this wonderful action coin to determine who is going to go first with if I can't remember. Yes, with Brendan chose Team Trader. And Chandru obviously chose our Lord and Savior, Andrew Guy, because he has good taste. Not only in prepared meats, but also in competitors. So we're going to be flipping it.
Chandru thinks Guy is the ghost
judge.
Confirmed.
It is Andrew Guy. So that's a good omen, guys. So Chandru, would you like to go first or defer for our final question of the evening?
I'll defer.
Oh. Defer? All right.
Classic Schmoedown strategy.
Putting all that pressure on you, Brendan. I see you. I see you. All right. All right. You have 1 minute on the clock starting now.
Yeah, and I think I'll use my extra 30 seconds for this so I can really paint the
opening
picture of what I want what I want the intro to be. So I was thinking about an epic virtual intro. We haven't seen a lot of players incorporating videos into their entrances, but for this question, I wanted to pitch an idea. So there's one person competing at the Spectacular that I always see in like a woodshed. They could be working in there. And so this is where that started. So we open up this video. You open up on this wood, and carved into the wood, names: Gallegos, Roca, Harris, Meyer, Miller, Snyder, like carved in to the place. All these names of Adam the Coyote Collins' victims. Then at the end, there is already a place marked Dan Murrell. Then coming out, you see this is a holder for his belt. This is the holder that he has made in that woodshed for the belt. Then all of a sudden, walking towards, you realize that this has not been just a video, it's been a POV of a match, before a match.
30 seconds.
Walking towards the table, sits down, little sip of whiskey as we've seen, holds up his chair, turns on the computer, boom. Adam Collins is there, ready to compete against Dan Murrell. He's made a statement that Murrell is going to be the next in his victims, and we've seen the place that he has built for his future belt.
10 seconds.
And that is very exciting because it hypes up the match, because one of two things is going to happen. Either Collins' confidence is going to be seen through this entrance, or Murrell is going to say, not so fast, shouldn't have been so confident.
Time. Oh. That was something straight out of like some classic, slasher POV situation, like Maniac, American Psycho action. Stacy, you into that?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared of this virtual. Is this an indie short film? Are we in?
I don't know.
I mean, I think it could be pretty interesting.
The woodshed. I saw the.
And I do want to clarify, it's for Adams against Murrell, obviously, in the singles title match. Perfect. Okay.
Very, very creative. Very creative.
Yes. Thank you for painting the picture. That did spectacular. Chandra, are you ready for your opening
do I need to
statement?
tell you ahead of time if I need the 30 seconds? Because I haven't time.
So
if I can ask for the extra 30 seconds when the time runs out too, right?
You can, if you like. You can like be like, you know what, I thought I had more time. I'm gonna give myself the time. So you can do it in the middle of like the open debate, closing debate. You can, but you can do it ahead of time like Brendan did. But it's totally up to you.
Got it. I'll just use my 1 minute for now, and I'll ask you if I need more.
All right. Okay. You have 1 minute starting now.
We open on a video of a Zoom call between 3 people. Shazam's manager, Coy, Bibbs, and Brendan. Bibbs says, I wish I knew more about animated movies and like the young adaptations and so on, man. And Brendan says, yeah, I wish I knew more about classics and 70s movies and so on, like the movies that were released like before I was born. And Coy, with his optimism, says, this is why you're the best team. You fill each other's gaps. You're each other's strengths too. So they cut the Zoom call, and they both get texts. I'll take the extra time too. They both get texts from Coy, and they both read this simultaneously without knowing. A journey soon begins. Its price reflected in the other's eyes. When what you see is what you lack,
10 seconds.
Then selfless love will change you back. And they just Bibbs becomes Brendan, and Brendan becomes Bibbs, and that's how they introduce themselves and play the entire match.
And time. What? We're getting a body swap intro?
Whoa.
Okay. I'm way into this. I'm way into both of these. Okay. All right. Okay, Stacy, obviously as like the, our resident, queen of introductions, what do you think of some of these, pitches for introductions so far? Like what's something that you would need to know in order to make these run efficiently?
I mean, nobody even once talked about wardrobe or costumes. So to be honest, I'm not really sure how much I'm invested in either of them. I mean, I dyed my hair for the Poison Ivy entrance. I don't really see that. I didn't really see anybody talk about that level of commitment. But you know what? I would love to hear their thoughts on, why is yours more epic than the others? Why would yours solidify that person's role and place in the Schmoedown more, that competitor's place more than the other person's idea for that competitor? Tell me why they're better. Pitch your ideas. Come on. This is Hollywood. This is Hollywood.
It's almost like Hollywood is all about pitching stories and stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. Our ghost judges 100% agreeing with Stacy on this. They want to know about the costumes. They want to know about some of the visuals. And both of you guys have really painted the picture really excellently. With the body swap, I feel like that's a little more focused on, body language and all that good stuff. Not so much, costumes. But, with having a potential like serial killer point of view situation, like serial trivia killer point of view situation, cabin in the woods situation. So we kind of need to see how that would translate obviously into the virtual setting. Okay, and also we want to know what's going to be more entertaining at the end of the day for us as fans, as viewers, Okay. All right. You guys do have 4 minutes for your final open debate starting now.
Well, I think Chandru has once again played some strategy here, making me have to argue against myself. That was definitely, but I just think that the entrance that I'm using, I think that Merle versus Collins will be the main event of Spectacular. It'll be the last match. And, the character work that Collins has done is building up this idea of the quiet guy who just slowly is correcting the league and taking out people one by one and proving the doubters. I mean, you could even have voiceover playing of like all the different times he was doubted for every single match. And I just think people are going to be looking at that match, Adam Collins as this unstoppable boss, this trivia slasher, if you want to say that. And Dan is going into this. And, Dan is a player that everyone thinks if anyone can beat an unbeatable player, it's Dan. And I just think an entrance like that is really going to hype up that vibe for the main event.
So my entrance, I was only talking about the introduction video of the whole thing, right? So it's basically Freaky Friday Shazam. That's what the whole text was about. So Bibbs is going to be dressed as Brendan Meyer. So he's going to be fully shaved. He's going to wear a brown wig with the classic Brendan Meyer bangs. And of course, Brendan is going to be going to dye his hair black and like pull it back or wear it pulled back like Bibiani. And he's going to have a beard. If he can't grow one, he'll just paint one in and like a mustache too. And costume-wise, they're going to wear the same things. But Brendan's camera is going to be tilted with the classic Dutch tilt that Bibiani uses. And why it works so well in the virtual is Brendan's screen name would be William the Beast, and Bibbs's screen name would be the Kid, of course. So
this could get confusing though in the match. This could get confusing though in the match if we.
It'll be so entertaining.
The character work though.
But the problem with Collins' entrance though, it's just a video shot ahead of time, and then Collins is going to show up as his low energy monotone self and just answer like Friday the 13th.
Joke's gonna be on you when Collins is the ghost judge, Chandru. When Collins is the ghost judge, this is really
throwing shade. I'm loving the sass. Loving the sass.
There's a lot of things that Collins could do to develop it. He could use the prop. He could have just etched the name that he's just finished. And what a great moment if he actually has this thing at the very end of the match. You know, he can
continue to hedge my bets that it's not going to be Collins though, because whenever he does any like classic cliche moments and try to be entertaining, it just falls flat. When he says correction, it falls flat too. So I don't think he can pull it off as well as the entertaining bombastic team that is Shazam. Like I believe in you, and like I would have chosen this even if I was not debating against you, because
but
like, you're
the exact same thing you said to say about the Stacy thing.
You're the most like you're the team.
You're using the same line, bro.
And the most theatrical
1 minute.
So you're gonna play with each other. Of course, you're gonna say growl during the match, and Bibbs is gonna up his Canadian, like do his fake Canadian accent too during the match. It's gonna be entertaining as hell.
I mean, I think it's a really, really fun idea, but I don't know how specific it is to spectacular. You know, it's like we don't know who we're playing yet in the match. And so we don't quite know the dynamic of what that's going to be. And a lot of times Shazam plays off the other team that they're playing and sort of incorporate that into the dynamic. So that's the only thing, is that as great an idea as it is for an entrance, I don't know if it fits in with the Epic Vibe of Spectacular. That's an entrance we could do for really any match.
But just like Shire, just like your argument for Shire Wolf, this is going to be the culmination of Shazam itself, right? Shazam, what is the theme of the movie Shazam? A kid becoming an adult when he says Shazam, and the adult becoming a kid again when he says Shazam, and that is the embodiment of the Friday the 13th entrance too, because you say something and then one becomes the adult and one becomes the kid.
All right. Well, I mean, it's interesting to think about, but we have a lot of other entrances.
And time. This wraps it up. That was our final open debate tonight, and that just got a little bit juicier. Okay, now Stacy, I gotta know from you, which one would you do?
Oh my gosh. I mean, well, I don't know how to work with wood at all, so I think I gotta go with the other one.
That's what she
I think I'm gonna go with Chandru's entrance. Entrance. Plus that also involves like a little bit of acting, a little bit of theatricality, if you will. Versus the other one, you really just got you got to be like a Ron Swanson type. I feel I couldn't pull that off. You know, so I'm gonna go with Chandru for what I could do as a competitor.
Yeah, you know, it definitely helps. You know, obviously everyone involved. You know, some of them are, with Brendan obviously being an actor. And Bibbs is such a really fantastic performer. Did you know the man can sing? He has a fantastic voice. But also Adam. There's something to be said. There's something you did kind of mention about Adam. He's so calm in his promos.
Yes, that is what it says.
It definitely, and he is consistently in this kind of woodshed kind of situation. It would definitely be a serious lead up. Now, something that I would definitely need to hear from you, Chandru, is that, Brendan really mentioned something I haven't heard you address yet, is that, hypothetically, your intro could be for any match. It can be for a championship match, which would be awesome, but it could also hypothetically be for any match. So what would make it so special and specific to Spectacular? But also with Brendan, this sounds like a very, very difficult thing to do. It sounds pretty epic overall, but it's just like a lot of one person. So, and he's such a chill, monotone guy. I don't know if we could get that kind of level of epicness from a competitor like Adam. You know, Stacy, what do you think? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
You know, I mean, I think that if someone doesn't necessarily have like the strong voice, the strong personality, the actual physicality of the entrance itself has to be pretty strong in order to show that off. Whether they're in an epic costume or they have like an epic prop or they have like a hype man with them to be going with that. So if the physicality and the actual props and everything of what Brendan is talking about can be pulled off, that would be really great to see. So I think you have to have all those elements there to really like, you know, make it work.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, we want to see all these epic intros happen.
Absolutely.
Like, just take my money, guys. Let me just upgrade my
Patreon. It's my favorite part. Who cares about the points and the questions and the, you know, this and that and the Anthony Hopkins? No, nobody pays attention. It's all about the entrances for me. So, you know.
Okay, well, you guys heard it. And, you know, we're going to be going into our closing statement as well. Our ghost judge, their only question specifically is, what is going to be more wholly entertaining, you know, overall for fans, for viewers, participants? Okay. We're going to be starting with Brendan for our closing statements as well. You have 60 seconds on the clock, and I know you already used your 30-second, you know, of additional time, obviously, so you can't use that. So you only have 60 seconds remaining. Are you ready? All right. 60 seconds starting now.
I think the reason why I think this is such a cool idea for an entrance is that, with the limited space of virtual, there's only so much that you can do in terms of a full entrance, right? So it does rely on costumes and props and these things. And so what I was thinking is this is a chance to take more of an advantage if we're going epic, if we're going big. I mean, maybe logistically, you know, it would take time for him to build this kind of prop, but I'm thinking big, I'm thinking bold. You know, he's got a couple of months, who knows what he could do. So the whole idea is that you have these props, you have this idea, a list. The whole Adam story has been adding names to the list, and I just think having a representation of that then you reveal is the place he's already set aside for his belt. It's such a confidence. And so it just sets up the story. It drives the story and the narrative of the biggest match of Spectacular, and thus one of the biggest matches of the year. And I think that that's a very, very valuable thing when we're going into a match like this. And it just builds that anticipation. This is a really fun entrance that Chandru, I would have a very, very fun time doing it, but I feel like it won't necessarily be
time. That wraps it up. All right, Chandru, are you ready for your closing statement?
Yep.
All right, you have 1 minute starting now.
We've seen Shazam pay homage to their competitors. They've paid homage to Pokemon and like so many pop culture things. But the best thing that they appreciate in the Schmoedown is each other. That they're the reason, each other is the reason why they had the belt, and that is culminated into them defending it at the Spectacular. The reason they are at Spectacular is because of each other. They're supporting each other through the belt, and like they get to defend it at the Spectacular, which is why the special entrance is going to be each of them paying homage to the other person. And playing as Bibbs, Bibbs playing as Brendan and Brendan playing as Bibbs too, and it's going to be so entertaining. What Brendan suggested for Adam Collins is it's just more like a promo that Nerd Chronic would cut. It's not his entrance per se, so it's more of a promo moment, and it would just cut into whatever Dan is saying. But this is going to be Brendan Meyer and Bibbs appreciating each other by actually parodying each other.
And time. Oh, whammy. Okay, so that wraps it up. We're done with all of our debating today, Stacy.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, we are done with all of our debates for the day. We're done.
Yes. Oh, it feels good. It feels good to be able to be nice again. You guys did such a good job. Oh, you look great with your white backgrounds and everything. Love it.
All right. Well, overall, Brendan, Chandru, you guys both
Chandru and I could be in the same room.
You could be.
Yeah,
it would be on opposite ends, like of the like opposite ends of it, like in a kids' bedroom or something. Totally. Yeah. So we are going to be waiting for both Stacy Howard, obviously, as well as our ghost judge to let us know who is the winner of these debates. You know, in the meantime, I just want to say thanks to everyone in the chat and all like us. We're going to be waiting a few minutes to find out who are the winners of each and every single one of our questions. So, before we kind of...
You're gonna count the votes for 5 days, right? Like we'll know the winner in 5 days.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna find out in like 5 minutes. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well,
What about the mail-in votes?
Yeah. The mail-in vote.
We have to have 5 more days.
The provisional.
We'll just be on this Zoom call for 5 more days.
Yeah.
It is a Schmoedown rights that they have mail-in votes. Okay, it is.
The DM vote.
Oh yeah, I really hope the ghost judge is not Adam Collins. I hedge my bets on that.
No pressure.
That would be incredible.
Oh my god.
It'd be hard for you when you're on Schmoebates again and you're like talking about Adam when he's here. Oh, Adam, I would have said this even if you weren't here, man. It's like,
I've tweeted things in character about him just before his matches to throw him off. So, he's used to me being mean to him.
Okay. Yeah, it was overall pretty. It was okay. Overall, those were really fun debates. And I kind of want to know from you guys, we are going to be going into our first, I believe it's our first ever spectacular, obviously, here on December 12th overall. So we're going to be getting IG matches, singles matches. We're going to be getting one of the most anticipated Star Wars matches that we've ever seen, obviously going against, some of these really great competitors. So Stacy, obviously, is there any particular match that you are especially excited to see this December?
I guess maybe the Star Wars matches, because it just keeps getting harder and harder. The questions keep getting so deep cut that I'm always surprised if anybody knows anything. I'm like, how do you even pull those answers? How do you even I feel like they have to have tattooed them on their bodies somewhere to be able to memorize this stuff. So I think that's pretty epic to see how deep cut and intense people can go with Star Wars.
I am always just completely amazed, by every single one of the leagues. Because they're all so difficult in their own individual ways. Obviously, teams, it's relying on each other, having that team chemistry and that strategy with each other. Obviously, IG. I can't even with IG. You have to do quite a bit of troubleshooting when it comes to picking answers. Well, I remember chatting with Greg Gainier over trying to memorize movie release dates, and you're like, okay, well, I know 2 movies released in this year on the list, therefore you have to narrow it down and kind of go about it that way, and it's a whole thing. Chandru, so no pressure, but this is going to be your first, your first, defensive IG match against, Chance. So,
That's true. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to that match too.
Yeah.
Defenses, we've known defenses. I think only 3 or 4 teams have 3 teams have defended their team so far, right? And only 2 people have defended IG so far, and that too in seasons 5 and 4 and 5. So not been done in minute now. So it'll be something.
Yeah, the defenses are a big piece in the whole puzzle. So it'd be interesting for the people that have to defend.
And Chance is on a hot streak, man. Despite his singles and teams loss, he's one of the front runners for Player of the Year. So you never know. He's gonna bring everything into it.
Yeah, that's true. And he has the time to focus fully now, but then you've had the time to focus fully even longer. So it should be a great match to see.
And I'm also excited for the team's title match too. It's both teams, whoever wins out of the tournament will also will be 3-0 in that will have a 3-game win streak, just like you guys. So it's and they would have won a 5-rounder match too. So it's kind of basically the same mirror image of each other. Unless one of the playing matches winners wins the whole thing. That could be 4 in a row,
which we've seen happen now to 2 different tournaments. So maybe whoever wins Witching Power and Misfit confirms winner of the tournament, following the Collins and Cabrera.
You never know, guys. I love me an upset. I love upsets so
There
much.
were so many wild matches.
So many.
It is just so crazy.
That I feel like we can have an entire Schmoebate specific to upsets of the season. Now, you guys, we have a winner. We have 3 questions. We have a winners of each and every one of the questions, and we're going to go ahead and announce our winner before we bring on our ghost judge, our amazing, spectacular, wonderful ghost judge.
The night of. Here we go.
Woo! Yeah, no pressure, no pressure. All right. With our first question being, what is the best team to never win a match? And like we said earlier, it is Brendan Meyer with his pick of the Self-Righteous Brothers. For the second question, which is, what is the best team intro of all time? The winner being Chandru Dhandapani. Whereas now it's 1 versus 1. Who's going to be the winner of the third and final question? Pitch an epic virtual intro that could be used at Spectacular this December. And our winner, winning 2 out of 3 debates tonight, it is Brendan Meyer, team champion. Brendan Meyer winning with winning with his super creepy serial trivia killer point of view pitch intro.
Oh man. Well, I'm very, very happy to win, but that was a pretty great. I'm not just saying that because it included our team. I thought that was a great entry from Chandru. One of the biggest.
I know. I'm disappointed.
One of the greatest skills I had to have in our debate was to not give too much credit to Chandru. I thought that was a great entrance idea by Chandru. But obviously in the debate, I couldn't say, and I was like, we could do it in any entrance, but that's really, I wasn't sure that argument was going to work, but thankfully, was able to pull it out. Thank you to you guys for having me on, and Chandru, this was so fun, and thank you, Stacy, and Ghost Judge, and everyone.
Can we get a real quick impression of Viviani?
Yes. I got so into my pitch. I actually want to see it now, like the whole Freaky Friday entrance.
You got the Dutch angle like this. I wish I had a little. Where's the stuffed animal yield?
Oh yeah,
a Tigger.
That's right. Yeah.
No,
Tigger one, or he. It's like. I know it's a little tiger thing, but he also has like the Muppets. He loves the Muppets.
Fabian the tiger.
Fabian, Fabian.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention
I kept on my glasses.
He's gonna have the kid will have Fabian in his hand too.
I went looking for it.
God damn it.
Okay, well,
I'm really disappointed that didn't win. Like I less so that. See, okay.
I've got the glasses, some glasses,
Got to spritz yourself a little bit. Get a little spine going.
That's right.
Start messing with it a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Now we have our ghost.
You could wear
judge,
the red
guys.
and blue shirts. Like I could wear the red shirt and you could wear the blue shirt. That's right. That would be
and everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, that's the answer." Okay. Yes. All right. I just do want to bring in and our amazing ghost judge. It is. Well, can you guys have a guess?
It's Adam Collins, isn't it? That's the only way.
That would be one of the most incredible. That would be the most incredible ending to this. It would be the most incredible ending to this, but I don't know.
Well, our ghost judge, if you can turn on your camera.
Oh!
Hey!
There it is.
Good to see you, Janine.
My gosh.
Hey, you guys did awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. What did you think of their some of their? I mean, like I felt like you're a fellow queen of the intros. Of being amazing with the costumes and the attitude and all that good stuff. What did you think of some of their intro pitches, Janine?
Well, I learned it all from the ladies with 6 degrees. Like they were my roadmap to entrances. So I definitely had to go to Chandru for that pick for sure, because those ladies inspired me so much. Like I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing in the Schmoedown without them. Yeah. So entrances are huge to me. They're really important to me. The theatrics of them, the costumes, all of that stuff. And, Stacy and Brienne have been people who really value that stuff as well. And it's kind of been phased out, which is really sad to see. But that's always been an important thing to me, and they valued that theatricality part of the show, and that's always been a huge thing for me. So I loved the entrance questions for sure.
Yeah, I hope we see that come back even more and more. I mean, obviously there's amazing ways to do it virtually too, but it would be great once we're back fully, not virtually someday, that we get to see that come back more. Those kind of big entrances, the walkouts, incorporating that stuff.
Yes.
Well, I do think it is definitely, very, very possible. I mean, like we had with, Shazam, when you guys did the kid thing being corrected by mom. It was hilarious. Oh my gosh, that killed me. I was like crying watching those promos. It the milk. Oh my gosh, he's watching an R-rated movie. It was gold. And but also, it was so good. But also when Gray went up against you, Stacy, I thought she did amazing doing the whole attitude, the costumes, everything to doing the whole look. And I was like, you know what, this can happen. We need more of this. I also want more of Gray Drake, but I also just need more of this, the playfulness that comes with intros.
Definitely.
I kind of want to know real quickly before we kind of wrap things up. What was there any particular question that you guys want to be like, nah, that's not the right answer. This is the right answer. To any of them?
Again, I think that my Jurassic Park entrance should have been picked by both of them.
Right, that's a great.
That is true. And with Toy's open test as well, that was definitely one of the top ones.
The debate just should have been who loved that entrance more. But it should have just been both that same one, and it should have been who.
But my argument for Shire Wolf was the cameos stole the show, and I couldn't do that for Jurassic Park because the dinosaurs and Koi sort of stole the show too. So
yeah, definitely.
So that's why I wanted to do something different.
Yeah,
and that was a live event I was at too, which is funny. I think that was the first one there. Yeah.
Nice. I will, a little behind the scenes, my mother was actually the one that took some nice glitter lotion and just kind of smeared it all over Koi's chest. She was she was oddly enthusiastic to do that, by the way. No one asked her. She volunteered herself. I was like, okay, Mom, calm down. So. She was like, oh, don't you need a little glitter here? Let me just open up your shirt. I was like, Mom, calm down. Okay, yes. But yeah, no, it was a good time. And actually my family flew out for that one, and my friends were there. That was a really good day. That was a really, really cool thing to do and have them there. So yeah.
It was so much fun.
I just saw a thing on Twitter. I think I just saw a thing on Twitter that they were filming the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie at that theater, using it as an exterior for something. Yeah,
nice.
I saw it on Twitter. Yeah, and they made it up. I can't remember because it was just something I went by on Twitter. But yeah, apparently they used that theater as they made it look like it was it still has an old look to it. So it had a new poster up, and I was like, oh hey.
It's a beautiful theater.
Yeah,
I like that those secret little wonderful spots. That's for dang sure. Okay, guys, we are done here for tonight. I do want to give a shout out to our amazing competitors today. Chandru, good luck with your IG belt match. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see you go up against James Ellison. Brendan, thank you so much, my dude. Going up against whatever team you're going to go up against here pretty soon. We don't know yet, but stay tuned for that. Janine. Oh my gosh, it's Janine. The machine, the ever wonderful. And last but not least, Stacy Howard, Sassy Stacy Howard, you guys are amazing overall. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Where can we just a little bit of fun. Starting with Stacy, where can we find you, your beautiful face, and anything you might be working on?
You can find me on all social media at Stacy O Howard. No E, no I, just Y. That's all.
And Janine?
You can find me at Janine Devine on Twitter and Instagram, and check out the It's a Wonderful podcast feed. Me and my co-host Morgan do some fun shows over there. We're also doing a watch along of The Faculty tomorrow at 2 p.m. PT. So check that out.
Oh yeah, I remember voting on that. Poll, and I was like, oh, that's a great one. It's so weird. I love it. I love these little horror movies. Oh, all over that. Yeah. Chandru, where can we find you? Your beautiful face and your overall positivity.
At Chandru Things on Twitter and Instagram. And again, the link is already down below. GoFundMe.SmashCancer. I want to shout out that too. I haven't had the chance or to shout it out in Schmoedown platforms because I want to play. I'm still playing up the roles. So Kevin is one of the best people ever. So, and he's a fighter. Like, help him go through this challenge. It's gonna be he's gonna appreciate all the love that you send him, as well as if you can afford it, the money that you send him too.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. Also want to give you guys a heads up. Here this Saturday on the 14th, not only C2A, but so many really amazing, reactors, a certain point of view, Mount Schmoedown, let's get ready to talk about Schmoedown, Gucciverse, all these amazing, not only reactors, but so many Schmoedown personalities, Janine as well, I know is amazing putting together the logo as well. I don't have it on hand personally right now, but right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Great.
This weekend we're going to be going nonstop, making a whole bunch of donations for an amazing cause for the Smash-a-thon starting the 14th at 3:00 Pacific. We actually are also going to have a Smets themed Schmoebates, later in the evening. So definitely stay tuned for that. Yes, and now last but not least, Brendan, where can we find you, your beautiful face, and again with all your Canadian positivity?
Yes, you can find me Brendan KJ Meyer on Twitter and Instagram, and yeah, same as all said. That's amazing. You guys are doing that this weekend. I'm excited that that's going on for Kevin, and for the GoFundMe. Absolutely, Kevin is true champion, but more than that, he really is just a great guy. And talk about challenge into the league at the same time. Kevin and I came into the league at the same time too, and his positivity was super helpful for me as well.
Such a genuinely one of the most wonderful people that I know overall. Yes, but guys, a lot of those links are those the social media handles for everyone on screen, as well as the GoFundMe page. All that good stuff is also in the description box below. So definitely check it out if you didn't have a chance to scroll it down real quickly. But guys, we also are doing a chill episode tomorrow. Let me see if I can pull it up. Maybe not. So no big deal, water coming on. Absolutely. It's going to be a fun time. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week, for doing some more Schmoebates. And guys, keep wearing a mask and, keep watching movies and be safe out there. Okay.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Yes. Please wash your hands. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.